welcome everyone once again to the Spanish Breakfast Show live on YouTube Spain. I'm Skatz, and in today's show I'll be talking to an international removals company in Spain and getting their top tips for a smooth trip. You can ask your questions live right now or anytime during the show in the chat box over there or down there, or if you're not watching live you can ask in the comments below. Either way, I'll get you the answers you need. My lovely wife Liz is with us today on the live chat under the name U2 Aromatherapy. As usual, she'll be keeping an eye on the questions too, and we'll answer as many as we can live, and if we miss you out, I'll get to you answers later in the comments below. And by the way, you can support this channel by finding the link below to our merchandise page and getting yourself a hoodie or a shirt or a mug or a phone case. So without further ado, let's meet my guest for the day. It's Alina from City Movers. Hola.
Hello. Hola.
Hola.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Very good. Actually, I'm very excited to be here and actually try and help some people out there.
Well, we're very excited to have you, and thanks for taking the time to come on the show.
Thank you.
So let's start off. Great. Let's start off by tell us a little bit more about City Movers and what you do.
Okay, so we are an international move company, as you said before. We do everything that is possible. So we do national moves, international moves. We have our own storage. We have storage in some different European countries. We're trying to help people and actually, because I know that when you move countries or home, it is quite difficult and stressful for you if you don't know how to act in that situation. So we're actually trying to help people by, of course, removing the things and transfer them to the place, and also try to give them enough confidence to do it with us, because people have important things or very expensive things, so it's very important to know how to do it properly. So yeah, that's what we actually do. We do international moves at least once a week. Okay, so for example, we have one route in European countries once a week. So for example, we could do Spain, France, Italy, Germany, and back home. We could do England, whatever countries we can get to.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Now, we've had a question already, which I'm just going to, we're going to answer this one later, but I need to acknowledge that we've read your question. Is that Kate? Do we have to state absolutely everything we pack in a removal van? So we'll answer that question when we come to the packing top tip.
Okay, because we have that in mind, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So let's start. We have got some great top tips. I think there's 7 in all, but you never know, we might come up with some more.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll start at the beginning. Top tip number 1. What should everybody know from the beginning, the start of the move?
Well, they have to know, and they have to be sure of the things they're going to transport. Okay, so for example, they have to have maybe an inventory, not professionally done, but an inventory done by them with the number of the boxes, the measurements, the number of the furniture, very cheap things, very expensive things. I mean, we need to know the good and expensive things, because we normally take care of everything, but still we can help you pack them properly, or we are more careful with the things that we know can be broken very, very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the first thing that clients should know. It's that they need to be sure of what they actually want to transport, because
it's the measurements, isn't it? The
measurements
really
and the actual goods, the object in general and in total, because it's not the same thing for me to transport 20 boxes or 30. So to receive a good quote, you need to know the exact amount of the things that you are going to transport, because in the end, it's going to be a better price for you.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's and some companies don't ask for all of those specifics, and
No, that's, if I may make a reference of you, what happened to you.
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
You're going to do the move actually with us, so we're very excited about that.
Yeah.
And it happened to you because the first time that Liz, the first time that she called me, she thought that you had a 40 cubic meter, you need a 40 cubic meter amount of space for the things. And after you giving me the inventory, I told you that it was like 15, between 15 and 16 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you were very, very sure that you didn't have that, maybe because you asked for a quote to other companies or things like that. I don't know, because I didn't ask you.
Mm-hmm.
But after looking at it very carefully with the measurements and everything, you actually didn't have that. And I know that many companies do that, and that's so unprofessional, because
Mm-hmm.
you charge the client. It's like you are doing something bad, because you charge the client for something that you're not going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not your full job. I should get paid. I mean, of course it depends on the money, because we all work and need the money. And I can have my own price, and if you like it, it's okay, and if you don't, it's also okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you should pay the money for the things that you have to transport. So it's not fair for a client, just because he doesn't know what he's talking about, to be overcharged for something that he's not going to do.
Absolutely,
So
yeah. And
people
we'll
have,
come to the quotations later on. There's specific things you need to
yeah,
know about that.
that's a very important thing. People have to know what they're going to transport, and to actually say that to the company that they're going to with the move,
Mm-hmm.
so they could give them a proper quote.
And we've had a question that's relevant to that. Do you only ship a small number of items? Can you ship just a few boxes, or does it have to be a full van?
Okay, I think I have this around here, but I don't remember. But I'm going to ask to answer to this. We actually do. I mean, every company can do what they what they think that it's good for them. That's why, for example, we as a company, we offer the client the possibility to do it both ways. For example, you can have a full van for yourself, as you have, and do it in just one transport. And
Mm-hmm.
it's what we call an exclusive transport. So you pay me to bring you the van and the people, to take the things and to get them back to the place that you want to get them dropped off. But if you, for example, let's imagine you have I don't know, 4 boxes and a big mattress, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We actually give the client the opportunity to do it in a group page, what we call. So for example, if I'm going to Ireland, okay,
Yeah.
what you're going to carry out is going to be 5 cubic meter, imagine. So it's not enough for me, because I'm not going to charge you very, very much money for that, because it's not okay. But I still need a little bit more of the money, so I can cover the expenses for my trip. So what I would do, what we do, and some other companies do too, is that I'm going to find clients, for example, from France and Denmark, and I could pick small things like yours. After that, I come to your house, to Ireland or wherever, and that is how I complete the whole van or the truck or what I'm coming with. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I give you small prices. And when you do a groupage, it's much more it's much cheaper than an exclusive. So I give you a better price for you, and I can charge all the clients an amount of money that I would normally ask for in a full van. So yeah, if we short that, it's, you can do it. You can send something small or something big. It depends of the routes that you have.
And that's it means really that there's less choice of dates because you have to fit everybody in with everybody else.
That
makes it less exclusive.
Yeah, that is the, let's say, the negative point. I mean, I can do it for you with a good price, but we have to agree on the date. So for example, if you need me to get it on the 22nd of August, I'm not going to be sure if I can go there on the 22nd, you know, because I have to get in touch with the other clients, and I have to do the same. It's not that a client is asked before or after, you know, so we just kind of try to put them in order. And that's why we normally give a week for the pickup and a week for the drop off, just to have the days so we can play with the dates. Let's say.
Great. Is that everything about top tip number 1? I think we should move on, otherwise
yeah,
we're going to take all day. Even though I'm sure it would be brilliant to speak to you all day, but there are going to be other questions. So anyway, top tip number 2. This is something important to me because I have musical instruments and expensive things. So insurance, what should we do about insurance?
Insurance. Okay, so I talked to you about this before. People don't actually ask for insurance. Okay, so I can tell you our case. We normally offer you an insurance in the initial price. So it doesn't matter if you have 5 boxes or 500 boxes. I'm going to give you the insurance included in the price. So you don't have to pay anything. And in case of if something is broken, or if something gets stolen, or imagine if the truck gets floated or things like that, you have that included in the price. So I'm going to refund you the money. But still, for more expensive things or professional things or things that you know that you need them to get there, like in safe, I know that we're talking about money and we're talking about paying, and we don't want to do that because the times that we're living in, you have to be careful what you spend your money on. But if you have those kind of things, I always recommend the insurance, because you paid a specific amount of money for the insurance, but you have the insurance, for example, imagine 10,000 euros or 20,000, or it depends on the amount that you want. For example, you tell me, oh, Alina, I have my musical instruments, and I need to the insurance to cover 50,000 euros. So I give you an insurance that will cover everything, but be sure that it's going to cost a little bit more than the normal one. But it's still a very important thing to keep in mind if you have something very important or very expensive and you need it to get there very, very safe.
Yeah, very good.
So that's a very, very important thing.
Yeah, let's see, we've had a question come through. It's come under the business name. This is he's asking for a quote. What's the approximate cost to rent a full articulated trailer to move an entire house full of property? I think they need to get in touch with you directly, because it depends on a lot of different things, doesn't it?
I'm actually going to leave you we have our email. If you could leave it in the comments, and they could ask me, because it's what we said before. I need some more information so that I can quote you. Of course, I can quote you, and I can quote you a good price. But it's still, I need more information. What we spoke about before, I need some measurements, and more or less for you to know what you're going to transport, because I don't want to overcharge you, and I either don't want to lose money. So it has to be a little bit specific. So yeah, if you could leave the email after that, and I could
I've actually put your website address for City Movers.
Good.
That's already in the comments. So if you want
Perfect.
to go onto that, and you can find the email address. I've had a look on there. It's very easy to find at the bottom of the page.
Well, our page it's actually in Spanish. I don't remember if it's translated in English or if you could translate it.
No, it's all in Spanish.
Yeah.
So, but there are pictures. There's a picture of a telephone and there's a picture of an envelope.
You can
easily send it.
You can get the email and just email me, and I'll answer to everything with no problems.
It's interesting. He's the same person. I'm looking to transport everything. He's putting the whole world into a lorry. So yeah. Get in touch on the website, I would say, and
everything
details.
Maybe everything for him, it's not everything for me. So maybe I have a 4-bedroom room, but I have so many things there. So that's why it's not enough for me or for all the companies, the removal companies, just to say I want to transport everything. But if you could text us, that would be amazing.
Because like you said before, all of the vans are different sizes, and we've already covered that.
That's it.
So let's talk about the quotations then. Top tip number 3, which quotation should a client choose? Do you go for the cheapest one, or what?
People, as usual, people tend to go for the cheapest one, and they actually try to call or ask different removal companies for the better price, but they don't take in account what I'm offering you for the quotation that I give you. Because, for example, if I give you a quotation of 1,000 euros, okay, and another company gives you a quotation for 800, but I still give you flexible dates or exact dates, if I give you the insurance included in the price, if I give you let's say partial packing, which packing, we're going to speak about that later, packing, it's not included in the price. So you have to take into account what the company offers you. So if it's good for you just to do it with the transport and take the cheapest quotation, and you don't think that you have important things that should get damaged or like that, you can go for the cheapest. I mean, everybody has they choose whatever they think. But I think that you should take in account your case, because not every case it's the same. So it depends on what are you looking for. And I think with everything, if you buy a phone, maybe not the cheapest option, it's the better, just because it's cheap. Because maybe in 1 year's time you'll have to change it, and you'll pay maybe the same amount in another year, when you could spend a little more and you can have it for 4 years, for example. So it's the same here.
You were telling me that do what your guts tell you, and
exactly.
I know that when we got a load of quotations a few months ago, you get the idea of how much the company are going to look after you, and depending on whether they answer your email quickly, or whether they speak to you on the phone, whether they put the effort in, you tend to get to know whether the company is just whether they're just clever salespeople, or whether they actually, whether they care. And you do get the idea that from the heart and from the gut, you know which company you want to go with. And
you need to get confidence from the company that you're going to do it with, because if they just do it by email, or if they're not quick to answer to you, or if just the person doesn't give you enough confidence, don't go for it. I mean, I that's the advice that I always take when I take an important decision. It's like, if I don't like the person, I'm not going to do it, even though they may be the most professional people from Spain or from Europe. I'm not going to do it. That's why, for example, I prefer to, after receiving an email, I prefer to do it on the phone. Remember that I did that with you too. I spoke to your wife because maybe there are more questions, and you solve them quicker on the phone, and you can see what I'm speaking about. Maybe you have different questions that you want me to answer to them. So I think it's more let's say it's better on the phone for me.
Yeah.
If you get to know a little bit the person.
Oh, we've actually had a question. Is it a good idea to choose a mover based on a recommendation? That's from Kate again.
You should go with recommendations. I mean, I think all people do that. I mean, you should go with recommendation, but you don't have to be 100% sure that your move is going to be the exact same as your friend. Because every move and every situation is different, and anything can happen. So maybe if they recommended you a good company that they did it with, go for it. My advice is to go for it, because
I think if you get a lot of recommendations, which all say this was a really, really helpful company, then there's more chance that you're going to get a good deal, you know, the right and safe. You know, your stuff's going to arrive safely. They're going to have the proper insurance. They're going to be regulated properly. So yeah, recommendation is good.
Recommendation is good, but you have to keep in mind that maybe it's not going to be the same for you. I mean, it can happen anything.
Yeah, good. It's funny, the person who asked for a quote has also said, and I've got 5 cats. So you don't move cats, do you?
We usually don't, because it's very difficult to take care of them while you're traveling.
Yeah.
And when you do it by car, by a van or a truck, it's so difficult to take care of them. So maybe you could ask someone that actually has those type of services, but I don't think it's.
There are companies who take loads of pets in a van with cages, and they look after them. Some of them look after really well.
They are pets, and they are you need to take care of them, and it's very hard. And there's for example, from Ireland, it's many days. It's not like you're not here in France and you need to transport them to Barcelona, so it's going to be like 500 kilometers, you know. So it's a long time. So I wouldn't advise to send your pets with the move company.
I know there's a good company, and it's a family company. It's the husband and wife, and they do drive all the way from Ireland right the way through England and collect some pets, on the way, and drive all the way down through France and into Spain. Although we're going straight from Ireland to Spain, but that takes, that's 30 hours or more on a boat, on a ferry.
That's it.
We're taking our dog in the car because we don't want to leave her with anyone else. We don't want to fly her in an airplane. She's too nervous, and we don't want her to suffer. So.
And it's your pet, you know it, and you know how to take care of it, and you know what scares him or what's good for him. So obviously you're going to take care better. So
they're even more precious than my guitar. So.
I don't advise to send your pets with the move company.
So that was good. By the way, everybody, if you like what you're hearing and if you're getting some good advice here, click on the like button, on the thumbs up. So we'll move on to point number 4, top tip number 4. Some things that the details that people may not consider is all to do with loading in and delivering. It's sort of access to the properties.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be
what's important about that. Yeah.
This is quick because this is things that you should tell the company. I wrote down here about addresses and the access to the buildings. Okay, so in the beginning, when you ask for the quotation, you need to specify where you live. So, for example, I want to do a move from Madrid, but the thing is that is a very narrow street, so you would need parking permits, or we don't have any elevators, and it's for it's in the fourth level, and of course we need to know that, because we need to know how many people should we send to that move. How could we act, for example, in the situation that it's not the streets are not okay with parking, or if they're narrow and we cannot, because it's not a small car, obviously it can be a van or a truck. So we need to know that kind of information, just to make sure that we don't encounter problems in the same day, because maybe if I can do it in 2 hours, because you didn't tell me those things, I have to do it in 5. So it's better to finish in 2 hours, but knowing the things from previous, so that's a very important. I don't think people take in account too much this, but I always ask, do you have parking? Do we need to get in charge with parking permits, or and more if you live in central cities or very crowded cities, or like the center of Madrid or Paris or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Paris is really crowded. I've seen people trying to park in Paris, and they hit the car in front and then the car behind them, then they gradually move into the space, and they don't care.
No. And actually some companies, if you don't they, for example, they have 2 moves per day, okay, and they have their time separated in both of the moves. So for example, if I take 3 hours in yours and 3 hours in to do the other move, and in the end, because of you, I spent 6 hours for your move, they tend to overcharge you, because it's money that they lose. So make sure that you tell them all the details that may seem not so important, because they actually are very important.
Yeah, and that's when the stuff is being picked up and delivered as well. I know that if you're moving to a village in Spain, especially one of the little white villages, then the streets can be really narrow.
Yeah, but the good thing in villages is that they're not very crowded, so you don't encounter so many cars or traffic jams or things like that. So that's a good point. But yeah, the streets are very, very narrow, so we need to know that.
Okay, so that's enough about point number 4. Let's move on to top tip number 5. Or was that for number? Yeah, this is number 5. Storage. This is something that's important to us, because we don't know. We're going to be renting, first of all. We don't know exactly where that's going to be until we've arrived in Spain and we find the rental property. So we're going to have to put our stuff in storage. So you can either you have your own storage facilities in Madrid, but you can also drop off to private storage facilities as well, can't you?
Yeah, that's true. What I wrote down here is that some companies, as us, they can offer you to store your things for a couple of weeks or months or whatever the time you need in their own storage, which is going to be cheaper than if you would actually get a storage box for yourself. So if you can do it with them, good. If you want to do it in a private storage box, we can leave the things there. But the thing is that when we drop the things from the storage, in the storage, that's where our service finishes. So what I do is I pick your things, I transfer them, and I leave it in one specific place. It doesn't matter if you tell me to get it to your house, to your garage, to the company, or it doesn't matter, or to the storage. But my work finishes in the last point. So if I leave you the things there, and for example, you ask me after that, can you bring me the stuff to my house because I found a house, I would have to charge you again, not just me, all the companies, because it's another service, let's say. So
Yeah,
that's an important thing. But yeah, we can drop the things or pick the things up from whatever places, if it's a storage or a house or flat building, whatever.
and obviously you cover the insurance for the whole thing. If you use your storage,
Of
you're
course.
insured until the final delivery to the house.
Exactly.
Whereas we have to, we're getting it delivered to a storage unit, because we're going to need some of the things, and we need to go to the storage facility, and Madrid is too far to go and do that.
You remember that I told you that we could have your things here until you decide where to move, and I could have done it so cheap for you, but still it's because you need the thing. So you can come to my storage whenever you want to pick some things up, but you have to come to Madrid. So that's the bad thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll come to Madrid anyway, but if it was just to get something out of a box, then it's just too long.
I hope so.
Good. So that's storage, and actually we talked about packing earlier, so which is kind of going backwards a little bit in the timeline. But let's go to that now. Do customers do that for themselves? Are there any sort of packing tips that you have?
If the customers do them, I mean, let me first explain what we do, and after that I will tell about the clients. So we can include the packing in your service, which is going to rise your price a little bit, of course, because we spend time and materials and things like that. But it's good if we do it, because our people are very professional and they know how to pack everything. So for example, everything that you have in the kitchen, or your utensils, or things that can get broken or damaged, they know how to do it, you know. So we can do it by ourselves, or the client can do it by himself. So that's not a problem, which the price would change there, would be cheaper. So we have different types of packing, which it would be the full one. I mean, I come to your house and I fully pack your things and everything. The basic one, which would be the transport, loading and unloading, and we can, let's say, reinforce some of the things with special move blankets or bubble wrap or things like that. Or the semi, which would be just the things that are like can get broken, or things that you don't know how to pack them. I mean, we could help you with them. And tips for the clients: make sure that you pack very, very well everything that can get broken. So for example, cups, glasses, make sure that you take your time and pack them really, really well, because that are the objects that can get broken very easily. And also, of course, the expensive and important things, if you want to pack them by yourself, make sure that they are very, very well packed. But it's not, I mean, it's packing, it's not very, doesn't have a big story.
No, although I have a tip based on what we do. I mean, maybe we're
tell me.
extra careful. This is labeling the boxes properly. We've labeled ours on the top and on every single side, because especially for when they're in storage, or when they're being delivered to the house, it's really good to be able to put things in the right room straight away, or in the storage. We're going to be piling things up, so that we'll be able to see some of them and get one box out when we need it. And if they're only labelled on one side or on the top, they might be covered over. So we've got labelled all the way around, and so we don't just end up with a big pile of boxes all in the same
Um,
room, and then you have to sort them out again afterwards, which takes even more time. It takes the client even more time. So
and that's
we've also
useful for
got.
you as the client when you unpack it to organize the boxes and everything. What we do is we normally label the boxes with labeling stickers that have numbers, because when we do the inventory we know that box number 1 it's in the truck, box number 2 is in the truck, etc. And we actually add maybe let's say the name of the box. So this is box number 1 clothes, box number 2 shoes, etc. So it's kind of what we do when we pack the things.
That actually answers the question before, doesn't it? Was it Kate? Where's the do you have to state absolutely everything you put in the removal van?
If you can do it like we said before, I mean, for example, to specify on the box what you're carrying, it's easier for us and for you, but you don't actually have to specify everything. I mean, I would tell you what you're not allowed to transport from the beginning, because we're not allowed to transport living animals, plants, food that can get bad on the road, of course, alcohol, drugs, illegal things were not allowed, obviously. But apart from that, you have to specify the things that for example, if you tell me I have 4 boxes with shoes and clothes, maybe you don't have just shoes and clothes, maybe you have also, I don't know, blankets. It doesn't matter because it's still like clothes. But you need to specify, but like generally, you don't have to say in this box I have 5 pairs of shoes. No, it's not important, it's irrelevant. But it's good to know more or less what you are transporting.
Actually, Kate was specifically asking about getting taxed. She's coming from the UK, presumably. There are special taxes, aren't there, from the UK? Is there customs charges or something for goods, or is that just for new things?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's
like when you buy a new item or what?
No, this is some people have been charged, and companies now coming from the UK to Spain since Brexit,
Yeah,
they have to specify exactly what they're bringing, because you might have to pay extra.
No, you don't have to do that, because normally we make sure we take care of everything. Like when you get into the ferry, that they ask you, what are you moving? And no, we normally make sure that we do it properly. So actually, a client from the UK asked me, do I have to pay the fees for entering Spain from the UK? And I was like, no, that's why you contacted us, because we have to do it. If you have things that we need to pay like a very large amount of money, I would tell you, but normally it's the normal taxes, and we usually do it. We do it every time, yeah.
Because Kate said she's heard stories of vans being charged and even emptied.
Like emptied where?
Coming through customs, I think.
No. We've never had this problem, like never. But if we find a problem like this, maybe it would take a couple of more days as the dates we specified. But I mean, I've never heard about that.
Yeah.
And as I told you, we have at least one international route to European countries. So no, never. We encountered, let's say, small problems when we went by boat, because, for example, we had to do all the paperwork, the forms and everything that it's now um, um, because every country needs a different type of paperwork. So maybe I kind of encounter, because sometimes it's difficult, sometimes you don't know where to do it, or nobody specifies that you have to do it, but nothing else, not with the vans, or to get our van empty for the police, or no, never.
Has there been more paperwork since Brexit from the UK?
Not for the UK, for the other countries, but because of COVID-19. But Brexit, I mean, it's the same. I had to get some paperwork done for the whole company, and we usually do the form 24 hours before entering the UK, and that's it. We didn't encounter problems getting in, out.
Well, that's good to know. Maybe the
That's,
companies that are getting stopped just haven't done their paperwork right.
maybe that's why I make sure, because I'm here all the time, and I'm in contact with the people that are out. So I'm always asking them, "Are you there? Do you need that? Do you need this?" Because we don't want to get problems with that. So I try to do it properly before getting there. So
yeah, okay. Oh, I just noticed something in my notes. There was another little top tip for packing. Mark which boxes are heavier than other boxes. That's something that we've put all our really heavy boxes with books in them. Some of those are really small because I tried filling a huge box with
that,
books and I couldn't lift it. And
yeah.
that's going to be a problem for us at the other end when we're moving it out of storage. Might not be a problem for your guys because they're big and strong and use wheels, but it would break my back at the other end. So we've packed everything in small, and we've kept all of those boxes in one part of the house.
Yeah.
So they'll go on the van first, presumably because you can put other things on top of them.
That's also good for us, because when we get the boxes and the goods in the van, we make sure that the boxes that are very full and they're very heavy, we put them at the bottom first, because even though they're strong and they know how to do it, it's easier for them. And second, because we don't want boxes that are very, very heavy on top, because we don't want the things to get broken or something to happen to them. So that's a good thing. Yeah. That's a good thing for you and for us.
Great stuff. So that's top tip. Now that's all about packing. This is number 7 is the final tip, unless we come up with anything else. Paying, method of payment.
I think everybody's interested in this.
Yeah.
Everybody has waited to hear this one. Yeah. Payment, it's done like in every other situations when you buy anything else. So we as a company offer the 2 different opportunity to do. Let's say we offer to do it, of course, the full amount at the beginning when we sign the contract, because it's when we get started with the move. So it's not just the move for us. So we have to get it into the route, we have to get the dates, we have to coordinate the dates with the other people and with the other cars that are going to the international. And that's why we need some money at the beginning, just to make sure that you as a client are not going to back off. So you need to make sure of that. Or we either have the possibility to do it 50-50, which is 50 at the beginning when we sign the contract, okay, just to what we said before, to make sure that the transfer is going to get done. And the other 50, we have it on the contract 2 days before the drop off. So we have and I have here, that's the payment, and it's just as another payment. You do it by bank transference. And that will be it. But I have here a tip that I wrote down. Make sure to read very carefully the contract before signing it, otherwise you will encounter problems if canceled. Very important. Of course, read everything before signing, because you need to know what you sign. Because for example, if in my contract, which is not the case, but if in my contract I have that you have to pay me the full amount of money a week before, I mean, it's my company. I can put on the contract whatever I choose. So if I do that and you sign it and you don't want to pay like a week or 2 weeks before the full amount of money, and we didn't speak about that, you have to do it. You have to pay me because you signed the contract. And in theory, you read the contract at the beginning when you signed it. So I didn't lie to you. I told you that you need to do that. So read very, very carefully the contract. I had to translate the contract for you because our page where we do everything doesn't have the possibility to do it in English, but I tried to. That's why, because you shouldn't sign something that you don't understand. So people normally, clients that we did transport for them from the UK or from Ireland, they usually knew Spanish, so we didn't have a problem with that. But you are actually the first client that doesn't know Spanish or doesn't understand everything. And I try to make it easy for you so you know what you're signing, and you know what I'm asking you to do or what you have to do, So
you did a very good job of the translation.
Thank you. I really tried.
You've and also on the program today, this English is your second language and Spanish is your third language.
Yeah.
And you learnt Spanish so that you could do the job you're doing now. And,
that's it.
And we had there's one question, but no, that's Liz's.
That's Liz, yeah.
Hey. Oh yeah, and Unitex says, assuming the contract is available in English too.
Well, and now
we've just answered that one.
Now it is. Yeah.
Because of us. So yeah.
I can do everything in English. I can do the contract, the invoices, the quotation, everything. You will receive it in a PDF by email. I'm not going to offer you a quote just by saying it to you. And everything can be in English, of course.
Yeah.
And you have me that I speak English, so I don't think we will have problems.
So do you speak any other languages apart from
I do
Romanian, obviously, and English and Spanish?
I speak Romanian, which is my mother tongue, and Spanish, which I learned here, and English because I learned English. I loved English since I was little. So, but I've actually learned English like 7 years ago. So yeah, I use the three. So if you are Romanian, Spanish, English, or if you speak English, we can speak with no problems.
Brilliant. So we don't have any more questions come through on the chat. Is there any other tips that you have?
But I think that will be all. I think we covered like we spoke about many things. So I don't think, you need to be careful. You need to get confidence from the people you're going to do it with, and that's it.
Good. So if anyone has any more questions, put them in the comments below after the video, and excuse me, so we can get answers for those. Or if you have any top tips of your own, like I came up with the labeling the boxes, then give those answers to everybody in the comments below.
Good.
Fabulous. So I'm going to let you go now, Alina. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and I really hope that we helped some people, or maybe we cleared some doubts that they had.
Wonderful.
That's why we're here.
Excellent. So we'll say everybody give Alina a wave.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.
And you, bye now. There we go. There you have it. If you've gained some insights from this video, then do click on that thumbs up below. Next week on the Spanish Breakfast Show, we're going to be talking to our regular expert on relocations, Chris from Up Sticks, once again. We haven't yet decided on a subject, so we're going to be doing that over the next few days. So if you sign up to our Facebook group, which you can find in the description below, then you'll be able to find that out very quickly. And so join us for the show next Saturday at the usual time of 9:30 if you're in the UK or Ireland, 10:30 if you're in Spain. And don't forget to check out, of course, the Liz and Skatz channel, which usually broadcasts live on Wednesday evenings about our journey to move to Spain, although we haven't broadcast for a while yet because I've been focusing on this channel. But one day soon, because we're heading very quickly to our move date, there'll be something on there. You can also get free yoga and meditation classes on YouTube Yoga, and also YouTube Aromatherapy is another one of Liz's channels, which is brilliant. And of course, there's all of the merchandise that you can get on the merchandise page. All of those links are in the video description below. So that is all for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do subscribe and click on the bell, ding, if you haven't already done that. And I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Peace and love. Bye for now.